My mum and dad were both Christians, and we grew up in a house that really for the first 4 years there was a lot of love and care. And at the age of 4, my dad went on a hunting trip, and there was an accident, and about 10 days later he died. So my mum was left with us 2 children. My dad was the main breadwinner, and my mum didn't work. So, if you think back, she had to make a plan. So I think she got a job, but she soon got married about a year later to a non-believer. And then, life changed and things weren't the same anymore. He used to threaten her a lot. It was quite a stormy marriage. And my mum was still pregnant with my sister when they broke up and the divorce went through. And my mum soon after that met someone else, and that was the beginning of even worse things, because he used to drink and he was very abusive. When my mum used to go to work, some days he didn't work, and I got sexually abused by my stepdad, and he made me believe that something very bad will happen to me if I ever tell someone. So I never, up to the point of 10 years old, told my mum about that. She said this is it. She will not get back with him again, and she got a restraining order against him. We went back to our house, and this evening, just the day when we got back to the house, he came to the door, and I still remember she said to him, "You can come back when you are sober." And he went back to the car, and he got out a gun and he shot my mum in front of me and my brother and sister's eyes. We went to stay with the dominee, and no one told us that my mum passed away because it was so chaotic. The next day I asked the dominee, "Can we go visit my mum in the hospital?" And he was like so shocked, and he said, "Don't you know that your mum's not alive anymore?" So she passed away, but in this chaos no one thought of actually telling us children that she's not alive anymore. My uncle and aunt took us in, and all 3 of us went to stay with them. At the age of 16, grade 10, I got expelled from the school that I was in, and things just went from bad to worse. I just used more and more, illegal substances, and we used to sniff Tipex, Finners, petrol, anything. It was just part of our life, yes. I used to read my Bible every now and again, and I always thought that I never want to use harder drugs than smoking dacha. And then I got involved with this guy, and the same night I met him, I started taking drugs. The second night that I went out with him, we went to a club, and I still remember you went up this high stairs, and when we came in, I just felt this evil presence. And I went down the stairs, and people were sitting in a circle as if they were waiting for someone. And all of a sudden I hear people whispering, "The man of the mountain is coming." And the next moment I saw this very beautiful man coming down the stairs. There was like light around him, and I was staring at him. And when he came down the stairs, he went to sit next to the first person in the circle, and immediately changed into a demon. And I was in such shock. I thought, can anyone see this? Because it's like they don't see it. And he went around as if he was making a pact with each of the people, because they were shaking their heads and he were doing something. And he went around the circle, and when he came to sit next to me, I just jumped up and I said, "I'm not doing this." And I ran up the stairs. And when I came into the club, I saw a pentagon on the floor with candles, and I saw a lot of small demons, and they were screaming words like sex. And I just said, "I'm leaving here." And since that day, whenever I used drugs, I started seeing demons. Later on, even when I was not using drugs, I could see demons. So life went on like that, and it just got more intense. I just started seeing more demons everywhere I went. And many people thought that obviously I'm crazy. but what I saw was real. They are around us, and the supernatural is very real. On the evening of the 29th of August 1997, we were all looking forward to try drugs, and there was a big party at my house, and they only got LSD. And that was the one drug I never wanted to take, because I knew I'm seeing all these things and they say that's a hallucinating drug. But still, a voice whispered and said, you must take it. So I took some of it, and this trip that I was on got so intense, and I sensed the evil coming, and I had such fear. And then all of a sudden I felt very far away. It felt far, something good could be coming. I just sensed it, and it went on for hours. And the next moment, it is as if there was a light that appeared in the room, and it is as if the Holy Spirit came down upon me, and I just said, this stops here. And everyone's trip, it stopped. And it was as if Jesus was there in the room. I just felt him so intensely. And I said, it stops here. I'm never going to take drugs again. And I walked down to my room, and I took the Bible, and I was born again that instant. Because the Lord, he was there. He was there with me. 2 years later, I went to London, and the first evening I started taking drugs again. A month later, while I was sleeping, the Lord spoke to me in a very audible, clear voice that you are done with this and you're not taking this road again. I just jumped up, I phoned the cab, packed my stuff, and I left. And that was the last time that I ever took drugs. And in 2005, I was in Bali all by myself, and it just hit me that these people, they worship all these idol gods, and they're so faithful to their gods, and I worship the living God, and I'm not even really doing it. And I only had one thing on my mind, and that's to get back to London, to go to the church that I'm supposed to be in. And since that day, I never turned around. But I remember when I got back to London, I sat in a park, and the Lord said to me, today is the day that you need to forgive your stepdad. And I was struggling with this. I said to him, Lord, the things he's done to me, the things he's done to my brother and sister and my mum, how can I forgive him? And the Lord said, but you need to forgive. You need to forgive, because this is keeping you captive. And I think it was like almost the whole day that I sat in the park, and that was the day I forgave him. And that was the day I never looked back again. And I just realized how important it is to forgive others, and that you can't hold on to those things, because you're not doing anything to them, that you're actually destroying yourself. And all those years that I was, in captivity because of addiction was because I didn't want to forgive. I couldn't let go. And that was the day that everything changed. And I also just made a decision that I'm going to now become part of a cell group. I want to be discipled. And immediately all these things fell in place, where before I used to not feel worthy. I never felt I could be part of this. And it was that unforgiveness that was, holding me back.